Hi everyone, welcome to this Ask Me Any Stocks live show. I think some of you have really joined us early, guys. If you can see us loud and clear, hear us loud and clear as well, look at my screen as well. Just type GM for good morning, guys. I think some of you have joined us, type GM for good morning. Let me just go to acknowledge all of you for just joining us. Hi, Carol. Hi, Salong, Athena, Kasi, M, Ray. Hi, Naps. Hello. Good morning to all of you over here. Let us know, guys. Just type good morning in the chat. If you can see, you can hear us. You can look at my screen as well. Hi, and Grace. Good morning, David. I think we are seeing a lot of familiar people joining us as well, familiar clients as well. Thank you so much for those of you who are my clients support. All right. Hi, Joshua, Nelson, Heidi. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the Ask Me Any Stocks session, all right, that'll be happening today, all right, today. And what is this session about? For those of you who are new, right, what happens is that, we've been doing what we call weekly Ask Me Any Stock section, right, on Friday at 10:30 a.m. And, what happens is that we do cover the Singapore stocks, the Singapore market, and also the US market. So today, right, today we'll be on the Singapore market, right, and of course, Singapore stocks as well. Last week, if you joined us, it was actually the US stock. So we alternate, right? Every Friday is either a US or Singapore stock. So today is Singapore. Next Friday will be US market, right? So what is this session about? Well, as the name of the title sounds, right? Ask me any Singapore stocks, right? So what happens is we'll do a quick market outlook. Of course, we'll look at the Straits Times Index, right? The STI, to see where we are right now. Are there signs of bullishness coming back? What are some of the factors affecting the market? Could we see more strength, right, in the STI, all right, as we head into the second half of 2025, or maybe in the second quarter of 2025, right? That's the first quick market outlook. And after that, right, we are going to dive into pretty much the stocks that you guys are asking about, all right? And of course, please ask the Singapore stocks, because today we are doing Singapore stocks, right? So we just go through very quickly, me and my team, Bervyn and Zee right over here. We just go through your Singapore stocks, give you a quick opinion based on my one good trend strategy, and we will even pull out the one good trend, the one GT Pro indicator that I have, and see what it says, right? To give you a quick opinion, whether are there any bullish signals you might feel a bit happy you see that, or maybe there's some bearish signals you might want to be careful because we might see a bit of a weakness. So that's what we do. We do a quick opinion, right? Do a quick analysis on the stocks you're asking about, and after that, at the end, that is where each of us, right, me, Bervyn and Zee, each of us will share with you one, all right, it's different, right? So one stock that each of us like, all right, that you can perhaps put in your watch list as well, because there could be some upside potential. We have put the stock in our watch list. We are seeing something bullish, some good price actions coming back. So you want to watch this stock as well. So that will be at the end. So make sure you stay all the way to the end if you want to know what are these bonus stocks. So three, because we have 3% right over here. So one of us will share one, and there's a total of 3 bonus stocks you can put in your watch list. All right. So that is pretty much what will happen today. All right. How many of you want this bonus stock? Just type me, type ME, type me for me. All right, if you want this bonus stocks that you can put in your watch list, let me know. Just type me. All right, I think some of you are joining us and you're typing the name of the stocks that you want, right? iFast, UOB. Let's see, right? We have iFast over here. Some of you are typing Seatrium as well. Awesome. Me. Thanks, Collab, Johnson. All of you want the bonus stocks. David as well. Esther, Heidi. Hi, George. Very good, right? So I think some of you are typing the stocks, Lion, HC Global. So very good, guys. Later, when we are going to cover your stocks, I know some of you are actually typing the name of the stocks, right? Like Rex, International, Singapore Airlines. So could you do us a favor, guys? Maybe we'll give you a bit more priority if you could give us. I think that's what some of you did in the previous session as well, right? Just not to just type the name of the stock, like, SIA, but what is SIA? Like, I know it's a stock, but you want to buy, you want to sell, maybe you bought yesterday, you bought last month, you want to get out now, you know what to do, what is the context, so at least we can have a bit of understanding before we advise you. Does it make sense? Not we might be advising you to thinking that you want to buy, but actually you really want to sell, right? So that's what you could do. So give us a bit of context, and then we are better able to give you an opinion, all right, based on the stock as well. All right, Ken. So that's what you could do, right? So let me go ahead right now to just introduce to you my team right over here. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome to this Ask Me Any Stock live session. My name is Choy Choy, top tier MyZeal trader in Phillips Securities. I've been doing this for more than 15 years now. I do run some trainings as well, and that's where I teach my one good trend strategy, right? So, but today's Ask Me Any Stock session. It's not about teaching you the whole strategy or give you like a 10-step checklist or what. No, right? It's pretty much just to dive into your stocks, all right, your stocks that you want, and that's about it, right? If you want to understand the whole strategy, the whole framework, and maybe even find out how you can have access to an indicator that gives you an opinion in seconds, right? It's not today, right? Attend one of those free webinar, team maybe can just put the link in the chat, right? So attend one of those free webinars, and that will be a bit more whereby we share about the whole strategy, the indicator, the whole process, step by step. That is another webinar, but today will be your stocks. All right, so let me go to share with you guys on my team, right? So Bervyn right over here has been with me for more than 4 or 5 years now, and Bervyn is a financial expert as well. He's what we call a CFA chartered holder, chartered financial analyst. So those of you who are in the financial institution, this is pretty much one of the highest qualification one can ever get in the banking industry. All right, so Bervyn is very proficient, all right, in not just TA but also FA, conducting our group coaching session, helping our mentor one-on-one training as well, and also assisting our portfolio manager with the managed account. All right, so Bervyn, maybe just say hi and a few words. Go ahead.
Hi everyone, good morning. Hopefully you all can hear us loud and clear. Very happy to see all these familiar names joining us every Friday. I hope we continue to give you guys value. Join us every Friday. You can just hit the subscribe button below. Help us out a bit, so you will be also notified when we go live. All right, okay, let's move on. Joey, please. Thank you.
Okay, very good. So let me introduce to you Zee as well. Zee has been with me for more than 4 to 5 years as well, and Zee is also, I would say, one of the expert, right? Not just in FA but TA, technical analysis. Why? Because Zee actually is what we call a chartered market technician, CMT. If you're talking about a technical analysis perspective, any single chart, any technical indicators, well, Zee is the expert right here, right? In fact, her qualification is even higher than me, right? In terms of the technical field, right? Of course, Zee is very versed. Bervyn is very versed as well with my entire One Good Trend strategy. So Zee has been helping us with our group coaching session, assisting our portfolio manager as well with the the portfolio of stocks, right? So Zee, maybe just say a few words and share a bit of yourself.
All right, thanks, Joey. Hi, everyone. My name is Zee. So yes, I've been with Joey's team for about 4.5 years now, specializing in TA. But my goal is always to break things down like in the simplest way possible, so you can take action without overcomplicating things, all right? So yeah, that's just a very quick one, and I will let Joey to dive right into today's session.
All right, very good. Thank you so much, Bervyn and Zee. So just a quick disclaimer, guys, whatever that is being shared today, all right, and of course, all our Ask Me Any Stock live session, right? It's just for education purposes only, all right? So please do your own due diligence, the standard disclaimer that we share, right? So it's not to ask you to buy or to sell, or not to buy or not to sell, all right? Essentially, it's just to give you a quick opinion, all right? Do your own due diligence, or do your own homework. That is very important. All right, okay, so let's move on right now, and we'll dive into the markets. I think some of you are already typing the stocks in the chat. Great, not to worry, going to do that. My team and myself will just go through the chat messages, we'll star it, and then we'll do our best to cover as many as possible. And as I say many times, right, in this live session, my apologies, all right, our apologies if we cannot cover all of them, all right. We hope you understand, because there's like each time we do a live session, there's more than 70, 80 over stocks, but we maybe can do up to 20 plus stocks, even if we do it very fast. So our apologies, right? We'll try again maybe the next time. That's where you could join us again. All right, so let me do a quick analysis on what we call the Straits Times Index, right? Straits Times Index. So before I even talk about the Straits Times Index, the Singapore market, right? Let me know, guys, what are your thoughts on the STI? Are we looking to be more bullish this year or more bearish, right? Type bull, B-U-L-L, bull or bear, all right? Bull or bear, what do you guys think about the market, all right? The Singapore market right now for 2025 as of today, all right? Are we more bullish or bearish? Let me know. Type in the chat. All right, thank you so much. All right, M, all right, XDB, bull as well. Joshua, bull, flat, Edwin, bullish as well. All right, Sadie, bullish. So a lot of people are more bullish. All right, very good. Let me go ahead to just explain my take on the STI. So I would say that for the STI, I mean, compared to the US market have seen quite a good push since last year. And STI, we only really started, I think, somewhere around like September, October, just a few months back. And we really started to see the trend push up much higher. Of course, over the past 1-2 months, there were some weakness in the short term, whereby we had this, Federal Reserve coming out and say they want to slow down the pace of rate cuts. Of course, we had Donald Trump inaugurated as the president of the United States, and then now coming out with some tariffs. So here and there's some weakness, some bit of sell down, but overall, each time we are seeing a sell down, right, in the markets, buyers have came back out, push prices back up, and that's one thing, right? But to push prices back up, and we are actually attempting to break what we call a very key resistance level to push to another higher phase. All right, so let me explain to you. So this is what we call the STI. So let me just go to turn off the signal. So you can see, right, I have this indicator. Later I'll share you guys a bit more, but I have this indicator whereby in a matter of seconds, I can just turn it on and see whether are there any bullish or bearish signals. All right, so but I'll just go ahead to analyze it right now. You can see that for STI, we have been in a longer term uptrend. I think 2 weeks back we mentioned, right, the 100 days moving average and the blue line, the 200 days moving average, they are both finding out the rate is above the blue. All right, so we were actually consolidating over the past 2-3 months, right over here from about 3,007. You can see right over here, right, 3,007 to 3,900. Look at this, right? We're just going up and then down and then up and down a bit and then up a bit, right? So that was pretty much the range, 3.7 to 3.9. The 20 days moving average, the green line that represents the short-term trend, was up, and you can see it started to just flatten out a bit just last month in January. Does it make sense? So it just means a bit of a short-term consolidation, sideways movement, even though the longer-term trend was up, right? But the key here is this, right? Over the past few days, I talk about this 3,900 being a very key resistance, right? We got a bearish, candle right here on the second day, what we call a bearish spinning top. We pushed down, all right? In fact, just last week, we neared it, all right? A bearish candle, something like what we call a shooting star. We put back a little bit, right? But what has happened this week, right? Over the past few days, is just on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we actually attempted to break the 3,900 level. That is the STI. We're talking about the STI right now, all right? And you can see that we are still above the 3,009. Now it's what, 3,928. I mean, you can see, guys, this is moving, right? The market is open right now, so it's 3,928. You can see it's 3,927 again, all right? So it is live. So we are kind of like attempting to push above the 3,009. We are staying above these 3,009. So that could be what we call a new support level for the entire market. So it's only like 2 or 3 days, but I think if we can stay above the 3,009 next week, next Monday, Tuesday, next 1 or 2 weeks, I think that could be a very good move, whereby we could start to see more upside momentum in the entire STI. And take a look at the green line. So I mentioned that in December or January, right, it was a bit boring because you can see the green line was flat. All right, why? Because it was consolidating sideways, like I mentioned, right? But over the past week, the green 20 days moving average line has started to point up. Does it make sense? All right, you can see it started to point up. This just shows that there are some short-term upside momentum coming back. Of course, we broke the 3,009 as another confirmation. So if I can go ahead to just turn on very quickly the 1GT Pro indicator right over here, all right, we can turn on the buy and sell signals, pump, right? So in a matter of seconds, of course, this is the STI. We can turn it on for any stocks, Singapore stocks, US stocks, STI, Dow Jones, gold, any asset classes. In seconds, you get a quick opinion. Even Bitcoin, yes, any asset classes, all right? So you can see right over here, pump. I off it, I on it, and let's see what are some of the signals. You can see, right? Pretty good bullish signal for the entire market here, and it was in August. Look at this right over here, pump. All right, and there we go. All right, over here, a bullish signals, the short-term trend turned up. We started push up all the way, and we got a bearish signal, about a 13% upside, and about 3 months for the entire market. And we got a bit of weakness. But let's see, right? Over the past 2 weeks, well, I think the most recent bullish signal came out right over here. That would be on the 13th of Feb, right? 13th of Feb, we got a bullish signal. 2 days later, we broke the 3,900 as another confirmation. So I think it looks pretty okay. I mean, there are a few signs pointing to more upside for the market, a little more bullishness. Those of you who type bull, like Steven, like Chloe as well, CC Lim, well, I do agree. We are a little bit more bullish because we broke the 3,009. We got a bullish signal. The short-term trend is turning up. The long-term trend has been up since last year. All right, so everything is looking a bit more bullish, right? And as long as we stay above 3,009, I think we could start to see more strength in the STI. All right, so that will be for the markets right now. So let me go into cover what we call the stock that a lot of you are asking about. So I'm just going to go through like the stock. I think some of you are actually typing in terms of the stocks. Let me just go through very quickly. Let's see, right? So we have like UOB. Wow, there's quite a lot of stocks. Let me just go to choose one, right? Just choose one. Maybe I can cover this stock called Seatrium, right? Seatrium, Ray, you're asking about Seatrium. Let me just do Seatrium first, right? The very first stock today, and that would be Seatrium. So those of you who are just joining us, welcome to this Ask Me Any Stock live session, guys. All right, and I just pretty much covered the STI. Now we are going to cover the Singapore stocks that you guys are asking about, right? And Seatrium will be the very first stock. Ray, congratulations, you're the first one today. All right, so Seatrium, let's see what it says on Seatrium, if there could be like more upside. Let me go to take a look. So this is Seatrium right here, and you could see that I think it looks pretty okay. I mean, we had probably covered it about 2 weeks back. The 100 days moving average line, red line has gone above the blue line. So in terms of the longer term trend, we have started to see some strength since November, October last year, right? Not last week, last year, right? October, November. And of course, if you ask me, last year, we had a couple of bearish signals coming out. You can see it starts going down and down and down. So I think you want to be careful, especially if the trend is down in longer term. Plus, you got bearish signals, right? So now we got some bullish signal coming out. Look at this, right? A bullish signal coming out in September. In fact, another one just came out in December, right? December, we started to push higher. So from these two bullish signals from when it first came out, I would say based on the price right now, 56.2%, right? 56.2% in about 1, 2, 3, about 6 months. Not too bad, not too bad. So let's take a look at what is happening right now. Like Ray, I'm not too sure whether you're looking to buy, to sell, to get out, but let's take a look at it, right? I mean, if you've gone in over here, great. You're pretty much sitting on some good profits, 56.2%. All right, but let's see what has happened, right? So I think that the longer term trend is still up for Seatrium. Look at this, right? Longer term trend is up. The green 20 days moving average line was flattened out a little bit. It started to point up. You can see right now it is still kind of like pointing up. So let me go ahead to see what are some of the key resistance levels. So I can draw this resistance line right over here. I think that would be the $2.60. 260, you can see over the past like 1-2 weeks, we are still trading below it. I think that's a very key level. Overall, it looks bullish, but if we can clearly go above the 260, we go to like 261, 262, 263. I think that is where we could really start to see more upside momentum. And if I could just turn on what we call the trailing support line right over here. So you can see, right, since September, when we got the first bullish signal, of course, the green 20 days moving average line started to turn up, flat, and then now up. All right. So we got the first bullish signal, the trailing support pops up. And some of you might ask me, hey, Joey, what is this trailing support line that is below the price, right? Well, this trailing support kind of give the stock space to move up. They give it breathing space or the flexibility or the allowance to hopefully be able to move up more, all right? And that's exactly what this trading support is, right? It accounts for the volatility. If the stock is hugely volatile, we give it more space. If it's not so volatile every day, up a bit, down a bit, then not really moving that much, well, it's less volatile, then we give it lesser space because it don't need so much space anyway. Does it make sense? All right. So you can see that this trailing support that is going up, it follows, like name sound, right? Trailing. It follows the price as it moves up, right? Giving it space to move up. So right now, you can see we are kind of still above this trailing support. So I think the trailing support is somewhere around the $2.30, right? We are seeing maybe a bit of a weakness, a bit of a pullback because we shot up by quite a lot, right, last week, but we might just pull back a little bit to 230 to 240. There could be some bargain hunting coming back. So as long as we stay above that 230 or maybe 240, right, that is where potentially some bargain hunting can return. We might retrace, kind of like reverse again all the way back up here to that same 260. And as I mentioned, right, the key level I want to watch will be 260. If we can break the 260, I think that is where potentially we may start to see more upside, maybe even a new bullish signal to lead it all the way up to even the $3. All right, so that's Seatrium. I think so far so good. A bit of weakness, a bit of selling because we've gone up quite fast. All right, so a bit of a profit taking, that's fine. But if we can stay above that 240 or 230, it still looks okay. 260 would be the key resistance level to watch. All right, Ken, so that's the first stock, and that will be Seatrium. So let me just go and pass on the mic to Bervyn to cover maybe the next Singapore stocks. Right, Bervyn, all yours. Go ahead.
Thanks, Joey. Okay, so I think somebody was asking a question about UOB or OCBC. So the banks. Okay, maybe I'll cover OCBC first. I think Caleb, are you still here? Good morning. So this is OCBC. I'm going to throw it up on my screen right now. Okay, so we have OCBC. So OCBC is the last local bank of the last three biggest local bank that will release their earnings on the 26th of February. I think DBS and UOB have released good results. So I think expectations are the same for OCBC. So if we just look at OCBC very closely, I think it's very clear, similar to the other banks, the 100 and 200 days moving averages are still pointing up, So that is a very good sign, as I think somewhere in November, I believe, prices have risen after we saw this one GT bullish signal. Up to today, that is about a 14 to 15% gain in the last 3 months. So I think pretty respectable gains. But could prices hit higher? I think that would be your question. Or should you be buying now? I think prices have been kept under this $18 psychological level, or it seems to be still hovering slightly under it right now. So I think if prices are able to break above, maybe we could see, more upside come in for this counter. But I think the near-term support would be around the 1650 to 1640 level, where actually you see prices had previously consolidated under it, rebound from it before it actually headed higher. So if this $18 level is able to give way, I think potentially we could see more upside coming for this counter towards maybe the $19 level. So if I were to just turn on the trailing support and resistance line, you could see that the trailing support seems to be about the 17 to about 1720 level as of this morning. So I think there's quite a little bit of a breathing space for this counter. So if you're looking to get in, the temporary support could be around this trailing support level, about the $17. So this is potentially where we could see a little bit of buyers come in to get in on those dips. But with the earnings report coming out next week, if we see prices dip towards this level, could that be a sign where they are expecting a little bit weaker results? I don't know. But as long as it is within this two range, the $17 to $18 range, I think there'll be a little bit of a buyers that are keen to get in on the dips. But nothing surprising if we see sellers come in close to this $18 level. If you are looking to sell, looking to put some money in your pockets first, I think this is the level you can actually take note of as well. So just very quick one for OCBC. Maybe I'll pass on the mic to Z to cover the next stock for us. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Bervyn. Okay, let me just throw up my screen over here. Okay, so I think mine is actually asking about Lion OCBC HSTECH, right? So this is actually an ETF. So like what Joey actually mentioned earlier on, our 1GT Pro, we can actually also see any asset classes, including ETFs as well. And I think this ETF actually tracks the Hang Seng Tech Index, okay? So I think recently a lot of people also talking about like China market, because a lot of money have been flowing into China, as well as, there's some kind of reversal going on. So let's take a look at this stock, all right? So for this stock, I mean, like over the past year, right, if we take a look at it, right, from 2023, 2024, it has kind of like just been moving sideways, and there is some weakness here and there, as we see, like, right over here, right, that's where we actually see a 1GT bearish signal coming out, and then all the moving averages are pointing down, right? And then after that, it went up again, went down again. So there's not much of a clear direction until somewhere in October last year. Right over here, that's where we see the 20 days moving average, right, has actually crossed above both the 100 days and the 200 days moving average, and plus the longer term trend, right, has also started to point up as well, right? I believe this is also due to the news about like China stimulus, the China government stepping in and things like that, which probably could be a catalyst to push the price back all the way up. But I mean, of course, profit taking actually happened, right, somewhere near the 90 cents, and then sellers came back in to push price back down. And subsequently, price just kind of like moved sideways since like November to somewhere in January. And then we start to see some action once again. right? So where are we at right now? I believe the price now is at around like 95 cents, right? 95 cents. So in terms of support, based on this over the past 3 months, right, we can actually see the support somewhere. It's around this 70 cents, right? This is one of the, I would say, the key support that we would actually take note of. So this is one of the level that you want to take note of, Mai, because when sellers came back in to push price back down, this is where prices actually maintain above, right? Buyers still came in to support the price at about this 70 cents level. And in terms of the resistance, right, I would say it's somewhere around this 90 cents. But this 90 cents has actually turned from a resistance, right, when it was here, to become now it's actually a support, because price have actually broken above this 90 cents and it is still holding above this 90 cents, right? And let's just take a look at this level. This level 90 cents is actually one of the very key level that you should take note of as well, because prices have been kept below this level since 2022. So over the past 3 years, price have been kept below this level, and only recently price managed to break above it. So that is definitely a good sign, right? And over here, the first 1 GT signal, right, that we actually saw is somewhere actually on this very day, 9th of December, right over here. Subsequently, we actually see 2 more 1 GT bullish signal appearing, and there is still no exit signal yet, right? So on this day, let's say somewhere around here, right, to where we are at now, over 3 months, price have actually risen above almost 26% already. All right, so if you're thinking about getting in, right, where can you potentially get in? I would say it would be somewhere near the support, right? Somewhere near the support, which is this new higher support, this 90 cents level, which is a very crucial level to take note, right? So if prices can actually hold above this 90 cents, where can we potentially see price heading towards, right? So we can actually base on a projection as well. So we can actually do this, and this $1.10 could be one of the resistance or target level to actually take note of. But of course, because now price is at 95 cents, yeah, price have risen a bit, right, at 95 cents. So at this $1 mark, I would say that perhaps, right, we may also see some temporary resistance happening, because it is actually a psychological resistance. So this $1 mark, we may actually see some profit taking happening, not too sure, maybe somewhere like that. But hopefully it can consolidate and it breaks above and head towards the higher targets about 110. All right. So that would be the analysis for Lion OCBC Hang Seng Tech. I will pass the time back to Joey to cover the next Singapore stock.
All right, thank you so much, Zee. So I think very good analysis there on this ETF. Let me go ahead to cover the next stock, right? I think a lot of you are actually typing the stock, so well done, guys. All right, so those of you who are typing a little bit more, like, what's your a bit of context on the stock, like you are looking to buy or to sell, great work. All right, thank you so much. So let's go ahead to cover the next one. I think Styler, I think you're asking about this, right? Good morning. Hi, good morning as well, Styler. Yang Zhejiang and Yang Zhejiang Financial Holding. So I think for Yang Zhejiang, you're probably looking at Yang Zhejiang Ship Building, all right, and also Yang Zhejiang Financial Holding, right? Thanks for the context, right there. Should we take some profits, right? I mean, since they have risen by quite a lot in the past 2 months. Very good. So let's find out. So I'll just focus on maybe the second one. That will be Yang Zhejiang, right? Yang Zhejiang Financial Holding, right over here. The code is YF8. So we like this stock. In fact, for Yang Zhejiang Financial Holding, it has been in my watch list since last year. We have actually alerted our clients in Phillip Securities as well. I think somewhere around January, maybe somewhere right over here, all right, whereby before it really started to move up. And that's where we started to move up as well, right? So I think that those of you who are not yet, maybe just let me know, guys, how many of you are actually clients of mine in Phillip Securities? Just type C for client, guys. If you are actually a client of mine in Phillip Securities, you have a trading account under me in Phillip Securities, just type a CC for clients, so that I know that we probably do quite a lot of clients joining us over here. But maybe some of you might just be scrolling through YouTube and Facebook. You have no idea why you're here. All right, so clients, let's see. Stacy, good to see you here. Thanks for your support. Derek, Alex, Pavesh. We do have quite a fair bit of clients. Thank you so much for your support. Idris, John, Klein. All right, Styler, not yet. What are you waiting for? All right. So yeah, as I say, basically, those of you who are clients of mine, you would have received a WhatsApp from me daily, all right, on some of the top Singapore stocks to actually put in your watch. Look at the chat, guys. I mean, we do have a lot of clients, thousands of clients right over here. Eng Ong, Fiona, Helen, Catherine, Denise, Ahyok, Anthony, Mike. Thanks so much for all your support, guys. But for those of you who are not yet a client, all right, check it out, all right? The link is right in the chat, how you can become a client. I mean, basically, if you are trading, you need a trading account, right? I mean, you know, how do you buy and sell stocks, right? So you need a trading account. So the question I have for you is that, is your broker doing anything? Right? I mean, is there anyone doing anything there, right? Or is it just like a hotline, or is anybody sending you any ideas or video or WhatsApp or training or doing sessions like this? If it's nothing, zero, nothing, then make sure you check it out. The link is right in the chat. That's where we provide a lot of value to our clients for free at no additional cost, right? You pretty much pay the same usual fees that you trade, you know, nothing special, the same, right? Same, but you get so much more value. So those of you who are clients, Chloe, Baksun, Savaraju, Nish, awesome. Thank you so much for the support. And I mean, do check our WhatsApp. Basically, we did send out a note for this stock called Yangzijiang Financial Holding, right? Yangzijiang Financial Holding right over here. And who is asking about this stock? Yangzijiang Financial. I think Styler, right? You're asking about it. So back to here, right? So you can see that right over here, we sent out a WhatsApp and it really started to move up. So let me go do a quick analysis. So you can see right over here, we got this 1GT bullish signal. Even in May last year, we got a bullish signal, but it was pretty much just moving up very gradually. I think the move that really started right around in October, right? Whereby the longer term trend was up, red above the blue. Right now, the red is still above the blue, all right? And, you know, it started to push up for like about 1 or 2 weeks. And from October to January, to be honest, it was a bit boring. It was in my watch list, but it was a bit boring, right? Why? Because we were pretty much consolidating right over here. I would say maybe below that 43 cents, all the way to this support at around that 39 cents. Look at this, we're just like going sideways. Even the 20 days moving average line that was pointing up also started to flatten out. Very boring, right? Nothing much. But I think it really woke up. We really woke up when we were to attempt to break the 43 to 44 resistance level. So I think somewhere over here, that's where we set out a note to our clients as well. All right. And of course, the green 20 days moving average line from being flat, it also started to point up. All right. So if you ask me right now, yes, I mean, like Snyder, you're right. Like it's gone up by, you know, how many percent over the past like 2 months. I think from here, when we first sent out a note to our clients, all the way to now about a 27% in just about, I would say in a month. I mean, if you consider up to February, I would say in about a month. Of course, if you consider previously in September, that would be like 4 or 5 months back. From here, when we had the bullish signal, let's see what's the percentage, right? 60.3%, all right, in just about 5 months. So as I say, right, that's how by having an indicator, it gives you a quick opinion whether to buy or sell a stock, all right? So let's take a look at what could happen right now for Yangzijiang Financial Holding. So I think, Tyler, your question is that, no, should we take some profit? Should we get out? You know, what if it comes back down? What if it goes even higher, right? Well, I would say that right now, if you're sitting on profits, I'm not too sure exactly when you bought Styler. I mean, you could be at 42 cents or 43 or 50 cents. But either way, you are definitely making some money if you have bought any time over the past like 3-4 months. All right. So what you want to do is very simple. All right. Let me just go to turn on what we call a trailing support line. So you can see, right, since the bullish signal came out in September, we got this trailing support popping up, right? It means flat, prices was hovering above it. There was some space given. So it was pretty much sideways, not a lot of volatility. So the line or the trailing support became very close, right? But we're still above it, right? And the move started. We started to push up and the trailing support gave it space as it moved even higher. So if you ask me right now, I would say that, you know, we are above the trailing support. The longer term trend is up. Short term trend is also up. And we are, you know, still seeing space. We're still seeing space above the trailing support. So trailing support, if you ask me, would be around that 51 cents, 51 to 52 cents. I'm not too sure whether you go down to 51 to 52 for you to buy, but anything above that 51 to 52 or maybe 53, right? It's all bullish. That's where some potential bargain hunting can come back again. And in fact, if I were to draw another horizontal support line right here. So over the past week, you could see that there is some horizontal support. Look at this, right? Rebounded, candle right here, another candle, right? We held above this, maybe 52 cents, not even 51, I think 52, some bargain hunting is starting to come back, right? So what you could do is you want to take steps to protect your profits, right? There are only 2 things you could do, right? Take some profits, take partial profits, and take steps to protect your profits. In fact, 3 things, right? So I think it's nothing wrong to take profits. I mean, as I say, it has gone up by indeed like more than 50%. All right. So if you want to take some profit, maybe near that 60 cents or 59 or 58 or 57, you can do it. Nothing wrong. You can take partial profit. But I think the key here is that what you want to do is to take steps to protect your profits. And how you could do that would be to set what we call a stop loss. All right. For those of you who have been following me for a while, you know, risk management is very, very important. All right. It's where, you know, if the trades don't go in your favor. Of course, we want it to go up more and then, you know, hopefully make some money, right? That's what everybody wants. But what if it doesn't, right? What happens? Are you going to let it go all the way back down to your same price? Definitely no, all right? You want to let it, you know, you want to get out and you still want to make the money, right? So the key here is that you want to have what we call a stop loss, right? And we can put it right below this trailing support level. So let's say 51 is a trailing support level. You could put it maybe 50 cents is a psychological level. Give it a bit of leeway. You can put 49 or 47 cents, 48, right? As a stop loss price, just to protect your position, just in case, you know, if it were to consolidate a bit more, all right, consolidate a little bit more, and one fine day, pam, doesn't matter, you get out, you still make money. You don't want it to go all the way back down. Does it make sense? Of course, if the price were to continue to move up, next week you go to 60 cents or 70 cents or 80 cents, great. Then what you can do is that we can take steps to protect our profits even more. So for example, the trailing support is right over here. So, you know, let's assume that we were to go even higher, right? And then you see the trailing support continue to follow it higher to give it space, right? To hopefully move even higher, all right? Then what you could do is now, after 1 month later, assume that it's gone even higher, then you can raise your stop loss upward, so that, you know, in any case, you hit the stop loss, you get out, you still make money. Does it make sense, Tyler? So I hope that gives you an idea of what you can do right now for Yang Zijiang. Overall, I think it looks pretty good. I'm not too sure whether it will break the 60 cents next week, but if it stays above that 51 to 52, I think it looks pretty bullish as well. All right, but have a plan. Make sure you have a proper risk management to protect not just your capital, but your profits. All right, so that is for me. All right, Bervyn, maybe you can take us through the next Singapore stocks. All yours.
Thanks, Joey. Okay, so before I continue, because I'm looking at here, so we don't have much, like, can you all guys just do us a favor, help us to like and then maybe share so we can reach out to more people, provide more value to everyone as well. Just take a quick second, help us to like and share this live session. Okay, so I think just now, Chi Sing, welcome back, Chi Sing. Nice to see you here every week. Hopefully continue to join us. You're asking SGX, should I buy now or wait for the next bullish indicator? What's the upside potential? Okay, so let me just throw it up onto the screen. Okay, SGX right here. So I think SGX recently also announced their earnings as well. So it came in as expected. It came in good because derivatives trading volumes are higher in the market, and SGX is one of the clearing houses that primarily generates its revenue from there as well. So also on this dividend ex-date, we actually saw that after a dividend ex-date, prices had subsequently, you know, retraced a little bit, where to it had dropped below the $13 psychological resistance level. But what we are seeing right here is that the 100 and 200 days moving average is still pointing up. 20 days moving average still looking strong as well. But we have prices being kept under this $13 level, essentially becoming or reverting back to the November period as well. So we also can tell that previously, if prices had actually broke above this $13 level, the upside can be drawn towards this $14 psychological level. So that's a $1 range that the SGX had actually, you know, pushed higher before going lower as well. So where would the current support be? I would say the current support right now would be around the $12 level. So if we are just looking, SGX consistently trades at a $1 range up and down, because prices had previously rebounded from this level. Previously, it was a resistance, had broken above in early November, and we are currently back in somewhat what we call sometimes like a no man's land as well. So with the current support around the $12 level, if we were to turn on, let me just switch off my drawings first. If we were to turn on the buy and sell signals, we could see that there is a 1GT bearish signal that had actually appeared, you know, a couple of days ago, sometime last week, Friday, it had actually appeared. Why? This is because previously, as prices headed higher, we have what we call, like what Joey had mentioned, this trailing support line that actually follows the prices up as it moves higher. And with the breathing space broken, you see on the 17th of February, where prices had actually closed below the trailing support, that's where we had a 1GT bearish signal. So whether you're asking to buy or not, there are a little bit of mixed signals here because the 20 days moving average is still pointing up, but prices are trading under a resistance very close to the resistance as well. So I think if you were to look to buy, I think you have to take note that this is below a resistance, and what you might actually have to consider it would be to have a little bit more of an aggressive strategy, where if prices were to break above this resistance one more to form what we call like a new support or resistance turn support, that could be an opportunity for you to get in as well. Alternatively, if prices were to head back towards the $12 support, that could be another area to consider looking at as well, especially if we are able to see a little bit of bargain hunting, a little bit of bullish candlesticks coming back in closer to these $12 level. So Chiseng, these are the two levels I believe you can take note of for SGX. All right, okay, so that's just a very quick one for SGX. Z, can you bring us through the next one?
All right, thanks, Bervyn. Okay, so the next one that I'll be going through will be Mermaid Maritime, because I saw a couple of you guys, Christy is actually asking, is it time to accumulate Maritime? And I think Chris was also asking, right, is it time to accumulate Mermaid Maritime? Okay, so let's take a quick look at this stock. Okay, so for this stock, I mean, for 2024, right, I mean, we see that, price have kind of like broken the sideways consolidation for a bit, and it broke above, right, this level, which is the 12 cents level. We will take a look at this 12 cents level in a bit, and it went all the way up to a high near this 24 cents, right, 24 cents, and then sellers came in. You see a 1GT bearish signal, and sellers started to push price back all the way down to this 12 cents level. So what I was saying about this 12 cents level, right, it's actually one of a very critical support level that you need to take note of, because the thing is that sellers came in, right, and pushed the price all the way back down to this 12 cents level, and we managed to rebound from it. Prices went back up, came down one more time to retest this level again, held above it, right, neared it once more, and this is where we are at now. So I would say, if you are thinking of accumulating Maritime, right, maybe you might want to consider setting a price alert, especially near this 12 cents level right over here, to see if actually the support can hold or it has already been broken. All right, so maybe you might want to consider to set a price alert, and to set a price alert is very easy. Press the plus, add alert, and actually that's about it. If I add a plus, add alert, yeah, then you see this arrow right over here. This is where it will actually alert me if prices were to head back down to this level right over here. All right, okay, so let's take a look at the trend. All right, let's take a look at the trend. So for the trend, we always look at moving averages, right? And as of now, if we take a look at the short-term trend, 20 days, the green line, I mean, yes, it's pointing up, right? But if we take a look at the longer-term moving average, right, the blue line is actually above the red line. So that is not that good, right? And if I were to zoom in a bit more, can you actually see that this red line is starting to point down a little bit? It's starting to point down a little bit. So that is actually not a good sign as well. Okay, let me just zoom back out to have a bigger picture. All right, and the next thing that we actually can see from this, right, is that price has actually been forming what we call lower highs, right? Lower highs. And it has not broken above this previous high yet. And plus, the moving averages from the moving averages, right, the trend is telling us that the longer term trend is still not that great, right? It doesn't mean that when the long term trend is not good, there cannot be short term strength, right? There can still be short term strength, like what we are seeing right now. But if you're asking me whether can you actually accumulate this stock, right, I would say perhaps you want to monitor first and wait, because what we want is we want to buy when the trend is up. You want to buy when the trend is up, right? But right now, the trend, is it up? No, it's not. It's not actually going up yet, right? It's kind of like going sideways, and plus the red line is kind of like pointing down, right? So we want to buy when it is looking like this, right? When it's looking like this, right? When the green is above the red and above the blue. But at this point in time, no, not yet, right? So it doesn't mean that, oh, maybe you might think, hey, the price very cheap now, right? But the thing is that cheap can become even cheaper, right? Cheap can become even cheaper. And therefore, I would say for now, maybe you want to monitor first, especially this critical support level at this 12 cents. All right. So that would be for Mermaid Maritime. I'll pass back to Joey, then we can cover the next stock.
All right, thank you so much, Z. All right, very good there. All right, in terms of Z sharing about, you don't want to buy cheap stuff, but basically, if you have been following me regarding the one good trend strategy, all right, we are looking into getting in on stocks whereby we want to be in the same direction as the trend. And when we're talking about trend, all right, we are talking about not just a random trend, we are talking about the longer term trend that we want to be in the same direction at least. And of course, we want to be in the same direction as the short term trend as well, right? So you're going to know about all the mechanics, all the step-by-step framework, guys. As I say, attend one of those free webinars. We don't have time to cover everything today. But essentially what Z has mentioned is that we want to kind of like avoid stocks which are going down every other day, which are not really moving, which are moving sideways, a little bit boring, right? No, we want to have strong stocks, right? So the link is right in the chat to attend a free webinar to understand a bit more on the 1GT indicator that I have, even the entire one good trend strategy. All right. And yeah, so what happens, guys, is before I talk about the next stock, which would be this company called Centurion. I think Athena, you're asking about Centurion, right? Centurion right over here. So very simple, guys. I just want to run through. Some of you may just only join us and just want to run through what are some of the stocks that we have already covered up to now. All right. So when you first join us, we covered the STI, the Straits Times Index, a quick market outlook. How is the market doing? All right, are we bullish or bearish? Well, I gave my take on it. Check it out. If you miss any of those stocks, guys, the replay will be ready after the live session. You can check it out. All right, go to our YouTube channel. And first thing first, guys, I want to make sure that all of you have subscribed to my YouTube channel or my Facebook. Hit the follow button, the subscribe button, guys, so that when we go live in the future, right, you will be alerted. All right, so make sure you hit the subscribe and the like button. And would it be okay, guys, to just give us some like and share? I'm not too sure whether you guys are saying this, but no, give us some love, like and share, so that we have, thank you so much for those of you who are hitting the heart shape button. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, very good, very good. So hit the like and share button, right, so you can reach out to more people as well. And subscribe. There should be a bell notification icon so that, when we go live, you will be alerted as well. All right, so thank you so much. Let's move on to the next. Let's move on to the next stock, and I think that would be what we call Centurion. Athena, you're asking about Centurion right away here. OU8. That is the code. So I think not too bad. In fact, Centurion has been in my watch list last year. Since last year, we actually had a couple of bullish 1GT signal coming out. And those of you who are my clients in Philip Securities, you would have been alerted multiple times. I think you might be get a bit of those WhatsApp ideas from me. Check it out. All right, but we have covered it since last year. You can see it started to move up. A bearish signal came out. Well, went down a little bit. A new bullish signal came out just in August. And there we go. Look at this, right? I mean, we don't talk about this. This would be like from here to here. 61%. All right, look at this, another bullish signal. There we go, 47%. And let's take a look, right, over the past 1-2 months. Well, it was actually a little bit boring, right? We got like 1, 2, 3 bullish signal, but if I can go ahead to draw this resistance level, I think we will kind of like cap below this level right over here. We got a bearish candle, push down, tested, push down. So it was like, attempting to break the resistance, but not very clear. All right, not a very clear bullish signal whereby we attempt to break it and we stay above it and we continue to push above it. No, right, we go up and then we come back down, go up and then come back down. So not a very clear break, even though there were some signs of strength. At least we are even attempting to break it, right, rather than just like pushing away from it or retracing back down. No, at least we are attempting to break it, but it could be better. It could be better, right? It could be better if we stay above it and we see like some volume or some good candlestick actions, right? So we got some bullish signal coming out because it's pump, all right? And I would say that right now, if I can just quickly turn on the trailing support line. So you can see this is the trailing support that pops up when we got the first bullish signal somewhere in January. Follows up, flat, and quite clearly, guys, you can see that we are kind of like still above this trailing support. As I say, this trailing support gives the stock space to breathe, right, to move up, hopefully, if possible, right, to hopefully move up even higher. So I think right now maybe we could shift the horizontal resistance line to maybe about 105. It used to be $1, it became 102. I would say now what we've seen over the past week, well, the resistance clearly would be around the 1.05. So I think it still looks okay, right? Just that along the way, we are seeing a bit of selling, and then it pulls back down, and then rebound again, and then we see a bit of selling, it comes back down again. So it's not like, wow, so quick that we could just, break and then pump, and go to a 120 or 130, right? If that happens, great. But so far, it seems like there are just some selling pressure coming back as we attempt to push even higher. Slightly different from here, right? Here, when we broke it, look at this, right? The green 20 days moving average line was just pointing up and off we went, all right? But for the past 1-2 months, it seems like it's not really doing that, all right? We are still seeing selling, maybe about 105. So I think what I could do right now is to set an alert. I mean, you can see right over here, I've done it. You can see, right? 106, 107, 108, 109, I would be alerted. I've set a price alert such that when it hits all this level, I'll seek a few more confirmations. And that is where there could be a potential entry to write even more upside, maybe all the way to 110 to 120, all right? If you get a few more confirmations, right? Because right now, the 20 days moving average line, look at this, right? 20 days moving average line that gives an indication of the short-term trend. Flat, it was up. And you see right now, it's starting to flat again, right? As I say, right? So it's still okay, but just that I know I wish that you could break the 105, the 20 days moving average line from turning flat starts to, turns back up like what we see previously, like over here. Well, all that will be confirmation of the next phase of the upside happening. So I'm not too sure exactly when it happen. If it happens, it happens. It doesn't happen. But we can just set an alert, wait for it to happen, and then that's where I will be alerted when it happens. All right, so this is Centurion. Still might watch this. Not too bad. I think anything above the $1, it looks pretty bullish still. All right. So let me pass on the mic to Bervyn to cover the next Singapore stock.
Thanks, Joey. Okay, so I want to continue my trend. So I'm going to continue doing the financial stock. So I think Stacy is asking about UOB. I think just now someone else was also asking about UOB just now. So okay, let me just throw up UOB onto the screen. Okay, so UOB right here. I think also recently the second bank to actually announce their results, also announced some special dividends also at the same time. But I think prices are a little bit tapered at this point, with the 100 and 200 days moving average still good. It's still good. I mean, we do not see any adverse movements at this point, but I think previously, as prices were kept under this 33.4 level for quite a long time before finally we see a positive up move of after this 33.5 or $33.50 level started to give way. So how much upside did we actually see? I think up to this point, there is about 14% upside already. Not too bad for a span of 3 months as well. But recently, just very recently, we had been kept under the $38 psychological level for a while. And prices had finally broken above it just, few days ago, about a week ago, we finally see this $38 level started to give way, and now we are trading above this $38 level. So where could the next upside be towards? I think if we were to just draw up just slightly, I think we're likely to face a little bit of a resistance at this psychological $40 level first. These round numbers, 40, 50, 45, that's where usually see sellers start to come back in for a bit of a profit taking. It's very, very normal to see situations like this. So I think if you are looking to buy, we can take note that with, like what I mentioned just now, the 20 days moving average still pointing up, potentially buying close to the support level may give or maybe a good opportunity as well. So if we were to take, if I just turn on the 1GT bullish signal, we saw that there are 1, 2, 3, 4 signals in the last 3 months with no bearish signal just yet. So could the upside continue? If we were to let me just turn this on as well. Okay, so the trailing support, obviously it is still moving alongside the counter. So with the nearer term resistance closer to 40, and if this 40 gives way, potentially I think upside towards the 43 or 42 to 43 level is a possibility. But I think we have to take note that if this $38 give way, we may see a 1GT bearish signal start to come in as well. So that's when you want to protect your profits. So if you are currently still holding on to this position, I would say shift your stop losses up or shift your stop limit orders up to protect your profits, especially if you have been holding since November earlier on. You're not too sure if there's any more upside. By shifting your stop limit orders up, you can continue to actually ride the uptrend. So what I would do right here is to also actually add an alert to actually alert me if prices get close to this $38 level. So maybe about the 38.10 level will be one that you want to actually look out for. Get in on those slight dips to actually accumulate more on your positions that you're holding. I think UOB still, the trend is still looking good at this point. All right, okay, CC, I think this should cover UOB for you. Maybe can let Z cover the next stock.
Alright, thanks, Bervyn. Okay, so the next stock that I'll be covering will be iFast. So I saw Chloe is actually asking iFast sell. So Chloe, not too sure where you actually bought in your stocks, okay? But let's analyze this stock. Okay, so as I've already drawn some of the lines because previously, I think a couple of days ago, we actually analyzed this stock for a client. Okay, so over the past 3 months, right? I mean, not 3 months, since October last year, right? We actually see that, iFast have kind of like just been going sideways, right? Sideways in this range at near this $7 to about this $8 level, right? Because whenever price reach this $8, we see that, sellers come back in, push price back down. Then when I reach to this $7 level, actually hold above it, buyers came in to support the prices, right? So it has kind of been like going up and down within this range for the past couple of months, right? And very recently, right, on this day, which is 17th of February, not too long before, we actually saw price actually breaking above this $8, right? Breaking above this $8. And we also have a 1 GT bullish signal coming out. But before that, there is already a 1 GT bullish signal coming out on this day, which is on the 31st of January, right? And as of now, in terms of the trend wise, we take a look at the moving averages. So the moving averages, I mean, the short-term trend, right? Green definitely is going up, it's going up, okay? And in terms of the longer-term trend, the red and the blue, we can see that it's starting to slope up slightly, right? So that is a good sign in terms of the longer-term trend. So short-term trend, longer-term trend, all heading in the same direction, right? So that's good, that's good. But right now, price is currently testing this $8 level. So previously, remember, it was a resistance, right? Price broke above it, $8 become from a resistance become a support. But right now it is testing this level again. I mean, now market is still open, it's still trading. I'm not sure if today price will actually close below this level or not. But let's turn on the trailing support and resistance to have a look as well. All right. So as of now, price is still holding above this trailing support level right over here, this green area right over here, right? So I mean, if price is unable to close above this $8 level, then maybe the next few days it actually break below this green trailing support line, right? Then perhaps what we can potentially see could be a sideways consolidation once again between this range, right? So if Chloe, you're asking, okay, where should I sell? Okay, the other level, right, the resistance level that you should take note of, right, would be this level right here at this 850, because this is where previously price actually nearly tested it twice, right? And it is kept below it since then, since like the end of 2023, November 2023, tested it again in somewhere in February 2024, right? So this 850 would be one of the key level. If prices is able to hold above the $8, let's say today maybe close above $8, right? Consolidate and then head toward this 850, right? This is where you can also potentially take some profits as well, right? There's no wrong to take some profits, especially when it is near a resistance level. Okay, so maybe you might want to take note of this 850 level and see if prices can actually hold above this $8 level or not. Okay, so that would be for iFast, Chloe. I will pass the mic back to Joey now.
All right, thank you so much. Right, see, let's move on to the next one. And let me just do a quick recap, guys, in case some of you are just joining us and you want to know what stocks have already been covered. So if we have covered the stocks, guys, you can watch the replay. We will not be covering them again. All right, watch the replay. All right, so let me just go ahead to share with you what has been covered so far. Right, so very first thing that we covered was the market, the STI Straits Times Index. All right, and then the first stock was Seatrium, right? Number 2, OCBC, which Bervyn covered. And then we have ETF, Lion OCBC, HSTECH. ETF. Number 4, I did YZJ Financial Holding. One of the stock that we like is in our watch list. You want to watch that stock as well, all right? Number 5 was SGX, covered. Number 6, Mermaid. Number 7, Centurion, all right? Number 8, UOB. Number 9, which Z just covered, which is iFast. So now I'm going on to number 10. Number 10, and what stock would that be? Well, I think I have a note here by Catherine, right? Thank you so much for typing in and give us a little bit of context, Catherine. Right? Hi, Joey and team. Can you advise me on Top Glove, right? Price dropped a lot since I bought. I'm not too sure exactly when you bought, right? Should I cut loss and get out, or can I buy more to average now, right? Any chance of a reversal in the future? Well, that's a very good question. That's what we hear, right? Should we buy more and then it goes down, you buy some more, go down, you buy some more? We normally don't encourage people to buy more when it's going down. First thing first, right? We don't do that because it could be really dangerous if a stock goes down and you're just buying and go down, you buy, go down, you buy. I can tell you it's bye-bye to you at the end, all right? So we don't do that. We only buy when there are signs of a reversal. It has turned from weak to strong. Yes, you want to think about buying. Or it is already strong. Yes, we think about buying. Does it make sense? All right. So this is Top Glove. I'll just go through very quickly. You can see that somewhere since like 2023 or 2024, couple of bearish signals. Look at this, all the way down. We got some bullish signal. It comes back up. Another pretty good bullish signal here, April last year. All right, there we go. The rebound happened. Another bullish. And off we went. I think the two bullish signals there was in September. Look at this, right? So it was like September all the way up here, 41% in about 3-4 months. But let me zoom in to see what has happened over the past, I would say, 2 months, past 1-2 months, right? So you can see right here, Catherine, that we actually had not one, but two bearish signal coming out. The one GT, the one good trend bearish signal. That, as I say, we can turn it on any asset classes. All right, right over here, I have this indicator. I off it, gone. On it, it's back up again. Any asset classes, that's what we've been doing, right? So if you want to find a bit more, attend one of those free webinars. But we got a bearish signal coming out on the January, not last week, but since January, quite long back. All right, January, and you see we started to push down, consolidate, and we got another bearish signal. It starts to go down even faster. All right, so I think what would happen is that when we see a bearish signal, right, especially if, like, I mean, you have got in over here, when, you know, let's assume that we got in over here, all right, and it goes up, we see a bearish signal. What we'll do is that we will take steps to get out and take profit. I mean, it's 40% profit. We take it, right? We don't want to be greedy, right? The worst thing is that you got bearish signal, and then you hope, and then you pray about it, and then you wait, and then you see how, and then before you know it, it goes down, and then, you know, it's pretty much back to, like, you know, kind of like the same price again, right? So we don't do that. When we see a bearish signal, it gives us an indication to get out, all right? Because that's where we might have broken a support, the trailing support level, and even the short-term trend has turned down, all right? How many of you agree? Just give me an indication, guys. How many of you agree that getting out of a stock, I mean, is important as well? This type O for out, guys. I mean, if you feel that getting out is equally important, because people like to think about getting in, right? Just buy and buy, and a little bit there. Buy is easy, like, anybody can buy anything, right? But what happens after that, right? Let me know, guys, if you feel that getting out is important as well. Let me know. All right. Type O for out if you feel that out is important. Johnson, O, right? O, thank you so much, right? So that's exactly what I believe, right? I think all of you can agree with it. It's not just about buying it, getting in and like doing shopping and that, but really exactly knowing when to get out. I think that's equally important. All right. So Raju, Steven, Grace, Alex, awesome, right? That's exactly what I feel. So I think when you see a bearish signal, I think what can happen is that you want to take some profit, you want to get out, all right? I'm not too sure exactly where you bought it, but if there's profits, you want to take it. So let me share with you guys why the bearish signal actually appeared, all right? So when we got this bullish signal, you can see, right? A trailing support pops up, it follows it as it goes up, and there we go, all right? As I say, this trailing support, if a stock is good, all right, if it continues to push higher, we would be above it. Why? Because we have given it, we have accounted for space for it, we have accounted for the volatility for it, we give it space to move higher. But yet we give you space, but yet you also use up the space and go below it, it means something is wrong. All right, it just means that some weakness is coming back, some selling is coming back, you might want to take some profit. All right, and that's exactly what happened, right? So we got a bearish signal. Obviously, we went below the trailing support and gave it space. I mean, there was all this space right over here. Finally, pump. Space gone, taken, gone. All right, we got a bearish signal. And if you look at it another way, we also have another confirmation from the green 20 days moving average. The green line was pointing up, And then it starts to point down. All right. So if I ask you a question right now, is the green line pointing up or down? Well, let me give you an answer. It's down. All right. So primary school, very easy. Up means up, down means down. We don't bluff ourselves, right? So the green line is pointing down. Not just last week or yesterday. I mean, since like I said, January. All right. And then we got a trailing resistance following it as it moves down right now. So what happens, Catherine? I mean, by right, if you have learned about the one good trend strategy, we would want to get out. We don't want to buy more. Definitely not to buy more to average down, because if you buy more, let's say you buy at 32 cents, you go down to 30 cents, and then you buy some more, you go to 26, you buy some more, 20 cents, you buy some more. I can tell you after 10 cents, you probably like, don't buy anymore, right? So we only think about buying when there are clear signs of reversal. Maybe when we get another bullish signal, not saying that you can't buy, but maybe not now, because we have not seen any signs of a reversal. Does it make sense? All right, only when we see signs of reversal, a new bullish signal coming out, the trailing support popping up, the green line maybe stop pointing down, then maybe we can consider. Does it make sense? Also, probably not buy now, right? To cut loss, yes, you would. That would be probably last month. I mean, that would be a little bit better. I mean, now it's gone up more. All right, I still think that it would be good to reduce some exposure, because we could be seeing a little bit more selling, especially if the 30 cents. So 30 cents would be a bit of a support level if I can just draw it right here, right? If we were to go below 30 cents, now we are just hovering just there. All right, I mean, like today is like going up and down just above it. Now it's like 295, right? So it's like just there, right? If we go below 30 cents, we stay below it next week. Not so good, right? We may see more selling, maybe to 26 cents. That could be the next support level. So we don't want to rush to buy, if it goes to the support, because I mean, support means that it could rebound. Yeah, I agree, right? But it doesn't mean you go there means you'll rebound, right? We want to wait for more confirmations, and that could guide us to get back in to ride the reversal. Up to now, that confirmations have not come in yet. All right, Catherine, so I hope that gives you an opinion for Top Glove. All right, and maybe I'll pass on the mic to Bervyn to cover the next stock.
Thanks, Joey. Okay, so the next stock I want to cover is this stock. I think Shay was asking about SIA, Singapore Airlines. So let's throw SIA back onto the screen. I think SIA, I was looking at it yesterday after their earnings came out last evening. But it seems like prices have actually, pushed higher, gap higher this morning. I just want to pull your attention to this. This candle is live. This is not yesterday's candle. This is today morning. Prices have actually went higher, and then it had actually saw sellers come back in to push prices back down. So this is live. It has not closed yet. Maybe about to close for lunch, but it looks like sellers are pretty much in control for the first half of the day as of this morning. So if we were to look at the longer term moving averages, you see that the 100 and 200 days moving averages are pretty much flat, or maybe even pointing down for the 100 days moving average, but we have mixed signals coming in with the 20 days moving average pointing up as of now. But as it hasn't crossed over the 100 and 200 days moving average, I would still say the trend still looks a little weak at this point. Do not want to actually rush in because prices actually pushed higher today. Are we going to break above or hold above this? Let me just change this line. Hold above this $6.50 level as of today. I'm not sure. I don't think anybody can tell you whether we're going to be able to hold above. Prices may drop lower or maybe push higher, after lunch. But I think as of right now, we do not see any signs of like a clear reversal back towards this 680. 680 resistance level that we have drawn previously as well. So if I were to just turn on the buy and sell signal, we see that actually right here today, live as of now, we see this one GT bullish signal coming in. This doesn't mean you're supposed to rush in and go and buy SIA now. No, because this signal could disappear at the end of the day if prices fall lower. Fall towards where? So if we were to just turn on the trailing support and resistance, right here, you could see that, the trailing resistance is right around the 650 level. And the reason why this one GT bullish signal actually appeared is because as of this morning, prices have broke above this trailing resistance. But right now, we are back to this trailing resistance to test it as well. So if we do not see like a support form at the end of the day, or prices being able to hold above this 650 level, this 1GT bullish signal may disappear as well. So that's just something for you to take note. Doesn't mean that you're immediately supposed to rush in to buy when you see a 1GT signal. Wait for the end of the day, see if prices are able to hold above the levels before deciding as well. So if prices are able to hold above this 650 level, I would say that the clear upside would be back towards this 680 level for now first, because prices have been actually kept within this range pretty much since September, October of last year, and we do not see any signs of reversal just yet, especially in the past. If we see a 1GT signal, prices may fall very swiftly back towards close to this $6 to 610 level. So there's no reason to rush in to get in on SIA as of now. I think the best case scenario will be to monitor towards the end of the day to see if a new support form, and if we can get in an opportunity to buy close to the 650 support level. All right, so that's a very quick one for SIA. Z, can you bring us through the next one?
All right, thanks, Bervyn. Okay, so the next one that I'll be covering will be RH Petrol Gas. So Athena is asking about RH Petrol Gas. What's the potential growth? Okay, so let's take a look at this. From 2024, I mean, of course, until the end of the year, October, we actually see the trend is actually down, right? It's actually down. The prices have been going down. The moving averages are all also going down. I mean, of course, sometimes there's some short-term strength coming back, but then it also continued to point back downwards, right? So trend-wise, in terms of 2024 all the way to October, that's where the downtrend is still pretty much intact, right? Only until somewhere in October, right, we actually start to see that there's some short-term strength coming back, and the green line actually broke. Let me just turn off the trading support first, so that it's easier for you guys to see. Okay, so this green line that I'm talking about here actually broke above the red and the blue line, right? So that it gives you some confirmation that some short-term strength is actually returning back to this counter, but longer-term trend still not so good yet, right? Because the blue is still above the red, right? Only until somewhere in December, that's where we get a longer-term trend confirmation. The red actually crossed above the blue, right? And this is where we also start to see some signs of the green line, which is the 20 days moving average, kind of like bouncing off the 100 days moving average. And now all three of them are actually heading upwards, right? It's all actually heading upwards. Okay, let me just clear this. So in terms of the support level, right, we can see that, the support will be, I would say, somewhere around this 15 cents level right over here, right? Because that's where we saw buyers coming back in to actually support the prices near it, support the prices, and still holding above it since October. And currently, I mean, are we still above it? Yes, we are still above it, right? And if you're asking, Athena, if you're asking what's the potential growth, right, definitely we would have to take a look at where the resistance is at, right? So that is where you can consider to take some profits if you're actually already in some positions. So in terms of resistance wise, we can actually draw the resistance somewhere around this 22 cents, right? Because this is where, right over here in October, we saw price shot up all the way near it, right? But sellers came back in very quickly, push price back down. This is where we get a 1GT bearish signal as well. So recently, we have two 1GT bullish signal coming out. The first one came out on the 10th of Feb. The second one came out on the 12th of Feb, 2 days later, right? So we have two 1GT bullish signal. And as of now, there is still no 1GT bearish signal yet. And price is currently about, if let's say as of now, it's about 12% over a couple of weeks, right? 12% over a couple of weeks. So in terms of potential upside, right, I would say for now, definitely we want to see price continue holding above the trailing support first, right? The trailing support, now prices, today gap down, but now it's still holding above the trailing support, right? So it's still okay. The trend is still looking decent, right? But if prices is unable to hold above this trailing support, that's where definitely we'll see another 1GT bearish signal coming out. But it doesn't mean that the stock will crash, right? It just means that there's more selling pressure coming back in. So potential upside, I would say for now, maybe you want to monitor this level right over here at about this 22 cents. This is where we can potentially see price heading towards. If price manage to hold above this trailing support and continue to move up, and this is where you can potentially take some partial profits. But if price were to break above this 22 cents, then where can price potentially head towards higher, right? Then this is where we see that back in 2023, this is where the high was, right? Back in 2023, this is where the high was, near this 24 cents. So if price can, continue holding and break above this 22 cents, then the targets can potentially be revised higher towards this 24 cents level. All right, Athena, I hope that helps. I'll pass the mic back to Joey to cover the next stock.
All right, thank you so much, Z. Let's move on to the next one, and that would be Samudera Shipping, right? William, right? Samudera Shipping. Let me go to cover it. So I think Samudera Shipping has actually been in my watch list for quite a while. In fact, in 2024, it was one of our best performing stock. I covered it, and became a bit weak and then went down, boring, but seems like there are some signs of it starting to push higher. So let me just go to do a quick recap of what has happened maybe over the past 1-2 years. So you can see, right, for Samudera Shipping, right, the code is SF6, right? We had some bullish signals right here, 2023, go all the way up. And as I mentioned as well, guys, we want to know when to get out as well, right? For example, if we have bearish signal coming out, 1, 2, 3, and look at it, right? There we go all the way down. Wait for it. We don't want to hold it all the way down. Of course, we don't do that, right? You want to get out, take your 20-30%, wait for the time to come back again, all right? And then look at this, right? So we went down, not like 1-2 weeks, but we went down for like about 7-8 months, all right? And we got bullish signals coming back, all right? Just as it began 2024 last year, another bullish signal, it went up even faster, and then another bearish signal, it went back down again. Does it make sense? All right, so that's how it can help you. As I say, if you know these bullish signals, if you know these bearish signal to guide you on when to get out, it could save you a ton of money. All right, so let's take a look at right now. So it became a bit boring, right? When we began somewhere around like second half of last year, we were just moving sideways. Look at the price. So it's just moving up and then down, up, down, up, down, up, down. All right, pretty much sideways. Let me just go to draw what we call a horizontal support and resistance level. Somewhere I would say over here, maybe just around the 90 cents. Can you guys see 90 cents horizontal resistance level? It was also kind of like a support, right? Look at this, a support right here. Boom, we broke down this support, became what we call a resistance, whereby we respected 1. So it just gives a bit more weight to that key level, the 90 cents level. And we found a support as well right over here. I think maybe just over, maybe right over here, somewhere around that, 75 to that 76 cents. Just some support. If we near it, rebound, all right? So that would be the range, right? So I would say that over the past 1-2 weeks, I got an alert as well because we got a bullish signal right here. So I say, right, it was quite boring. It was just moving sideways. A bearish signal came down for like 3-4 months. And just a few weeks back, we got a new bullish signal coming out, right? And I was just waiting for a bit more confirmation. What confirmation would that be? Well, I would want to wait for it to maybe just go above or break above the 90 cents resistance level, right? And yeah, true enough, right? Over the next, I would say the past 1 week, you can see that the bullish signal seems to be playing out. The green 20 days moving average line that was flat all along has started to turn up, and now we are at around that 91 to 905 level, 91 to 905 level. So I think at least we are attempting to push higher, right? There's some strength. Even the longer term trend, whereby we look at the red and blue line, you can see, right? This red and blue line, the red is still below the blue, right? We want it to be above it. Does it make sense? Right? So we want it to be above it. That would give an indication of the long-term trend turning up. So we need a bit more confirmation. We need time to play out. All right. And when I can tell you, if we were to stay above the 90 cents, it's only 1 week, but if you were to stay above the 90 cents, maybe we go to 93 or 94 or 95 or to $1, well, great, right? This red line will continue to go up. All right. And let me just put maybe an example. So red line would be like that. The blue 20 days moving average line will also start to point up. And that is where we would be a confirmation whereby, the 100 days will go above the 200 days, red above the blue, something like this. Look at this right over here, red above the blue, right, all the way up, right? And when you see the red went below the blue, all the way down, right? So we want the reds to be above the blue, both pointing up. That gives us an indication of the longer term trend. Another confirmation, I would say, right? And that happens, great, right? We could see the upside reversal more firmly all the way to $1, maybe even all the way to that $1. And let's see, I think that would be a very key resistance right over here. Look at this, right? Somewhere over here, we got a resistance over here. All right, that is what we call a resistance level. Same thing, back to here, a resistance. So that is where I'm not too sure whether it will hit there again, but you see that is where potentially, right, we may see some selling pressure coming back again near the 105 to 104 level. So I think this is Samudera shipping. It looks pretty good. At least we are attempting to push higher. The short-term trend turn up, but in order to get more confirmation of the longer-term trend also turn up, right, we need a few more weeks to play out. But I think it looks so far so good for now. All right, so that is Samudera shipping. Bervyn, that can bring us through the next stock.
Thanks, Joey. Okay, so the next stock, I think Akid is asking for venture and capital land. Okay, so maybe I'll cover venture for you. Okay, so right here on my screen, you should see that, yeah, this is a venture corp. I think what stands out really for me is clearly there is 1, 2, 3, 4 1GT bullish, bearish signals that actually came in since August last year. Then of course prices started to fall lower and lower and lower as well. And somewhere in November, right here, you actually see that the 100 days moving average actually crossed below the 200 days moving average already. So that is in line with the 1GT bearish signal, but it doesn't mean that the 100 days moving average crossed below the 200 days moving average, the 1GT bearish signal will come out. Now, nothing to do with that. Just in this case, that it coincides as well. So, that is another double confirmation that, the trend still looks weak at that point of time. And right now, we have the 200 days above the 100 days, above the 20 days moving average. Although the 20 days moving average is showing a little bit of strength, pointing up in the near term, it has not crossed above the 100 days moving average just yet, and it could potentially play out like previously prices just headed higher for a while, flattened out, and then started to go lower once again. So we do not want to actually get in on counters with a longer term or weaker longer term trend as well. So it's not really a good sign. Of course, if you are holding onto it, I would have wished that you have sold when we had the first 1GT bearish signal. But if you're holding up till now, I would say the current support would be around the 1240 level, around the 1240, 1235 to 1240 level. Prices rebounded from this level twice already, and we have been pretty much kept under the 1325 to 1330 level since November, so for about 2 months plus already. So that's not what we actually want to see as well, because as prices previously tested this level quite a few times, we were not able to break above it. So if the same scenario plays out, we may head towards this 1320 level, which if you intend to actually sell some or reduce a bit of your exposure for this counter for a little bit, this could be a potential level you can consider as well. So if you're looking to get in, I would say not just yet. Let's wait for a potential reversal, the 20 days moving average crossing above the 100 days and 200 days moving averages first, and then you'll see potentially maybe whether the 100 days and 200 days moving average start to flatten out and hopefully point upwards first. So that is just a very, very quick one for venture. Okay, so Z, can you bring us through the next one?
All right, thanks, Bervyn. Let me share my screen. Okay, so the next one, I see Karen, right? Karen is asking, is it time to enter property counters like UOL? Okay, so let's take a look at UOL, right? So maybe just to interact with you guys a bit more, right? Maybe you guys can let me know in the chat, what do you guys think of this trend for UOL? Do you think it's an uptrend or downtrend? U for up, D for down. What do you guys think for UOL? Is it an uptrend for U, downtrend for D? Okay, let me know in the chat. What do you guys think? Up or down for UOL? Johnson says down. Okay, Johnson says D. Anybody else? Anybody else? D. Yep. D. A lot of you guys say down. Yes, correct. Definitely it is in a downtrend. I hope nobody says that this stock is actually in an uptrend now, because very obvious, right? One thing is that we see the moving averages first, right? We see the moving averages. So the moving averages, blue above the red, above the green, right? So that already shows that it is in a downtrend. Second thing, we see that prices are actually forming what we call lower highs as well, right? So even if, I don't have to draw these out, but you guys can actually tell that prices are actually forming lower high. And we actually also have this downward sloping channel resistance line, right? And very recently, right, we actually also see quite a number of 1GT bearish signal, whereby the first one actually came out on this day on the 11th of October, right? And subsequently, there's two more. So prices have already gone down by about close to 8% right now, right? 8% right now. So Karen, to answer your question, right, whether is it time to actually enter a property counters like UOL, right? First thing, if let's say the counter is already in a very clear downtrend, perhaps you might want to continue monitor and hold first and don't rush in to buy into counters like this, because prices can get even cheaper, right? Maybe let's say some people, they actually bought the counter somewhere here and then they think, wow, actually the price very cheap already, like it already gone down to 580. But then look at where it is at now. Now it's at close to $5, 5.10, right? So price have from there have already gone up another 12%, right? Another 12%. So let's take a look at where is the support. Okay, so now, right, over the past, let me just shift this. Okay, so over the past 2 months, right, since December, right, we can actually see that, the psychological support will be somewhere close to this $5 level. I would say $5, right, would be a psychological support that you might want to take note of, because right now 20 days moving average, it has started to flatten out. Yes, that's good, right? Short-term momentum starting to stabilize a bit, but the longer term trend, blue and the red line, it is still pointing down. It's still pointing down. So longer term trend, not so good, right? Not so good. So the support level that I wanna monitor, right, will definitely be at this $5, because if prices were to unable to hold above this $5 and it actually break below this $5, that's where we actually will start to see the 20 days moving average starts to point down again. The green line will start to point down again. Definitely the blue and the red will continue to point down. So not so good, right? If it breaks this $5 level, we might see more weakness back to this counter and prices can potentially hit even lower, right? And in terms of the resistance, right, we can see that, over the since December all the way to where we are at now, right, prices have kind of been attempting to actually break above this 520 for a couple of times, right? For a couple of times. But it has always been blocked by all the sellers, right? Especially you see this long upper shadow here. Selling pressure is always there. Sellers queue there to actually sell the stock and price push back down. Right, so 520 I would say would be the resistance. So for now, for this counters like this for UOL, right, I would say that do not rush in to buy. You might want to monitor first and continue to see ideally I would want to see that price is able to break above this 520 and the longer term moving average, right, start to head sideways first. Like, don't continue to point out, because if it continue to point down means that the longer term trend is still down, which is not what we want. We only want to buy when the trend is up, right? So for counters like this, like what I mentioned, do not rush in to buy yet, because cheap can become cheaper. All right, so set your alerts, price alerts, and monitor especially this $5 psychological support level. All right, Karen. So that would be for UOL. I'll pass the mic back to Joey.
All right, thank you so much. All right, let's move on to the next one. So I think we just go on with like maybe one more round of like the stocks that you guys are asking about, and make sure you stay all the way to the end, guys, because at the end, right, that's where me, Bervyn, and Zee as well will each share one Singapore stock that each of us like. All right, so there'll be like 3 Singapore stocks that you want to put in your watch list. There could be more upside as well. All right, so make sure you stay all the way to the end. And as I mentioned just now, right, in fact, some of those stocks whereby we covered were actually some of those that we shared with our clients in Phillips Securities. We are all top brokers in Phillips Securities, servicing our clients with our broking team, assisting our clients as well right now when we're doing this live. So you're going to get some of those ideas faster by WhatsApp for free at no additional cost. The link is right in the chat, right? Check it out. I think some of you are like privately messaging, how do you get these ideas? Joey mentioned about this and stuff. The link is right in the chat, right? Find out how you can have our top ideas for free daily on some of the top Singapore stocks. All right, so let's move on into this company called UMS. I think Alex, you are asking about this company called UMS, right? Can I buy UMS? UMS potential upside in the short term. So let me take a look at UMS. You can see for UMS, right, it was pretty good somewhere in 2023. I think the tech stock started to run up. It went from like 90 cents to 150, all right, and then it starts coming down. And over the past 3-4 months, let me go to draw some key line, I think we would have found what we call a bit of a horizontal support around the 95 cents. Look at this, right? We have like, rebounded, same thing, we neared it, rebounded. So quite good. At least we have found a bottom. At least we have touched like 2 times, and then we rebounded from that horizontal support level. But just by rebounding from the horizontal support level, is that signs that it will rebound again? Is that signs that it will start this reversal all the way back up? No, right? We still need more confirmation, right? And what would that confirmation be? Well, very simple, right? Let me draw another resistance level. So I would say that over the past 3-4 months, or maybe 4-5 months since August, look at this right here. We touched, we came down, right? We just couldn't get above that level. I think the 108 to 110, 108 to 110. I mean, you can just give a bit of allowance. You can put it at $1.10. We're just below it, right? Down, right? And the past 1 week, the past few days, we are trying, right? I don't know whether it's going to do it, but we are trying to hopefully attempt to break this resistance level that we have been kept below since August. Does it make sense? All right. So at least we're trying, right? Better than not even trying. So at least we're trying. So there is some signs of strength. There are some signs of strength, but I would say that we would prefer to have a little bit more confirmation. Maybe by breaking, we can just shift this up, to $1.10. This 110 would be a psychological level. So I've set an alert right over here at 1.11, 1.12, 1.13. Right, and there we go. Every time, if you're to go to those levels, I think that will all be confirmations whereby we could start to see more upside happening, right, by breaking a very key psychological resistance level. And when that happens, right, you can see that the green line, you see, is starting to slope up, right? It was like down a bit flat. Now it is starting to slope up. So it's good, right? The short-term trend has started to turn up, but I think we still need to break that very key level, the $1.10 psychological resistance. If that happens, that would be a very key confirmation. And if you look at the red and the blue line, look at this, right? The red and blue line, since last year in July, the red went below the blue, both started to point down, and there we go, right? The longer-term trend was down. And you ask me right now, is the longer-term trend up or down? Well, I would say that the blue is still slightly pointing down, right? The red has started to flatten now. As I say, if we can go above the 110, right? All this will start to point up. All these will be confirmations whereby the longer-term trend can slowly start to point up, something like this, right? And the red and blue, if both of them start to do something like this, I'm not too sure whether you will do it, right? But if we go above 110 or 115, I can tell you in a matter of weeks, this will happen. All right, and that will be another confirmation that now, not just the short-term trend, but also the long-term trend has turned up. Does it make sense? Right, and that's why it gives us just more confirmation that, now we are indeed going to start to see that reversal, right, all the way up to 130, maybe to 140. Back to where we have seen prices be right over here. I'm not too sure whether it go back here, but that is potentially where some selling pressure can come back again. All right, and if I can just quickly turn on the 1GT Pro indicator in terms of the signals. Let's go, let's turn it on, and let's see what happens, right? Let's see whether there were any signals that comes out. So you can see, right, let me just remove all the drawing. Let's go. All right, so you can see that for UMS, we had a couple of bearish signals, right? And there we go down. Bullish signal went up a little bit. Bearish signal starts going down more. All right, and in fact, in 2023, right, we had some really good bullish signal. Look at it, all the way up. Bullish signal starts going up. So I think right now, let's take a look, right? We would have this bullish signal coming out. I think I mentioned, right? So not too bad, right? Over the past 1 month, we got 2 bullish signals coming out. Number one in January, and one just happened a few days back on Tuesday, on 18th of February. So quite okay, right? There is some signs of strength. 20 days moving average price pointing up. At least we are attempting to push higher. But I think, as I say, if we want more confirmation, if the 110 gives way, we go to 111, 112, 113, stay above it, of course, right? All that could be even more confirmation that the reversal is indeed ongoing. All right. So, Alex, I hope that answers your question regarding the potential upside short term. Yes, we are indeed seeing some upside in the short term. It is playing out right now, but let's just see if the confirmation that we are looking for can come. All right. So, let me pass on the mic to Bervyn to cover the next Singapore stock.
Thanks, Joey. I think there's one question here, just very quickly. Michael is asking, does these companies trade on the USA Stock Exchange? No, So Michael, actually every week we are doing this Ask Me Any Stock live. So this week we are covering the Singapore market, but however next week we will cover the US market. So maybe join us next week, then we can explore the US market together again. All right, so okay, just very quickly, the next stock I want to cover will be this PropNex that I have on my screen here. I think somebody was asking about PropNex. Okay, so for PropNex, just very quickly, we can see that let me clear this out. You can see this that we have 3-1 QT signals that had actually came out in the more recent days. Then prices have actually pushed higher. So as of today, there will be about 40%, 41% gain from this 1GT signals. So I think pretty good run up so far. But I think the best thing that has happened in the most recent days will be we actually see that the longer term trend right here have actually reversed from more of a consolidation phase to an uptrend sometime in January, where the 100 days moving average finally crossed above the 200 days moving average, and then subsequently we see both of it actually push higher or started to slope more obviously higher as well. So with the 20 days moving average, let's just zoom in a little bit. 20 days moving average looks to be pointing up as well. So that is a good sign that buyers are still in control of the momentum right now. Do not see any weakness in the near term, at least. A little bit of dips here and there, but nothing alarming showing us that prices could reverse back down into a downtrend or start to consolidate as well. So if we were to actually just draw like a support level right here, because previously actually prices have actually tested this support level. I mean, this is already going quite far back in 2023, because in the recent days, these are the recent highs as well. We actually see that consolidated quite a little bit, just a little bit. We are currently testing the support level. So this is a good sign that buyers have actually come in to protect these levels. So far for the last 2 days at least, will it be able to continue hold above? So far it looks like it, but if it can break down, nobody say it cannot break down a support as well. So if this support continues to hold, I would say the upside would be towards the 120 level, just very easily, because if we were to draw like a support level right around the $1 psychological level right here, and then do a projection up, that is how we get the 120 level as the next resistance so far, or the next target so far. So if we were to just very quickly, I want to turn on the trailing support and resistance lines. You can see that the trailing support is below the 110 level as of now, giving the stock some space to breathe a little bit. If you are holding on to PropNex and you want to protect those 40% gains, especially, I would just say that you would have to set a stop limit order or trailing stop limit order, in order to protect these profits so far. Of course, if prices hit towards the 120, the trailing support would then start to hit higher as well, and then that's when you want to start shifting higher and higher, protect more and more of your profits to continue to ride this reversal into an uptrend. But if you're looking to get in, perhaps you want to consider the 110 to 112 level, close to the support level, but of course to also protect your downside, because this support has already been tested in the last 2 days. All right, Idris, so that's a very quick one for PropNex. Z, can you bring us through the last stock?
Thanks, Bervyn. Okay, so the last stock that I'll be covering today, right, will be Keppel, because I saw host Eve 1313. He's asking about Keppel. What is the trend like? Advisable to take some profits at about 25%. Okay, so let's analyze the trend for Keppel together. Okay, so for Keppel, right, we can see that prices have kind of been trading within this range for actually about more than 1 year lah, because since 2023 it has kind of like been trading within this range, right? And it is around, the support would be around this 580, right? Because obviously we can tell that every time prices near this 580, Buyers came back in to push price back up. And in terms of the resistance, it will be at $7. Why? Because prices neared it one time, touch it, try to break above it, unable to, came back down, and then once again right over here. So it has kind of been testing this $7 psychological resistance at least 4 times already, right? At least 4 times already. So now the thing is that if we look at the trend, right, we look at the moving averages right now, we can see that all 3 moving averages, green, red, and blue, what is happening? They are actually all flattening out, right? They are all flattening out. And when we actually see this kind of like moving averages flattening out, right, it could be a sign that the stock could be in a potential consolidation phase, right? Consolidation phase, because all the moving averages are not going up, not going down, but just going sideways, right? Just going sideways. So let me just turn this off first. Okay, so that here now it's clearer. Then over the past couple of months, right, since November, that means the last quarter of 2024 to where we are at now, we can actually see some support right over here at this level, which is around this 660 level, right? Because this is where, we see some buying pressure coming in and to support the prices as well, right? Support the prices as well. But very recently, I mean, of course, we see 2-1 GT bearish signal coming out, right? Bearish signal coming out. But it doesn't mean that the stock will crash, right? It doesn't mean that the stock will crash. It just means that there is more selling pressure coming back, and it's likely probably due to the earnings, which they actually release here. People could take profit as well when earnings seasons are near or when they actually release their earnings result. But so far, prices is still holding above the 660, and so far, I mean, we don't see that the moving averages pointing down yet, right? So that is still all right. That's still all right. So I will want to monitor this 660 support level, especially to see if price can continue to hold above it. I mean, if it consolidate, that's okay. But if it can break above these $7, then that's where we can potentially see more potential upside to this counter. And that's where maybe the 20 days moving average, right, we may also start to see it turning up like this as well. Right, as well. So, host Eve, I don't know where you actually bought the stock, right? But you were saying advisable to take some profits at about 25 cents. I would say yes, near the $7 resistance. If you're already holding the positions and near this $7 resistance level, right, there's no wrong to actually take some partial profits as well. There's no wrong. Put the money in your pocket first. There's no wrong, because if let's say you to enter here, right, it is already almost a 21%. So perhaps your entry price could be even lower than this 580. Then if prices actually reach this $7, I would say you can actually take some partial profit first because price have already risen quite a bit, and it has been testing this $7 resistance. All right. So I will want to take note of this $7 as well as this 660 level for Keppel. Okay, so that would be for Keppel Corp. I will pass the time back to Joey, and we can actually go through our bonus stock for today.
All right, thank you so much. Right, thank you so much, Zee. Let's move on right now. So those of you who have joined us all this while, thank you so much for joining us, guys, in the Ask Me Any Stock session for Singapore market today. We have gone on for almost 2 hours. So before I talk about this bonus stock, right, that each of us will share with you, let me just do a quick recap of what are the stocks that we have covered so far. So first thing first, we covered like the STI, all right, we covered the STI, the Singapore market, all right, and after that we covered what we call the first very stock that we covered was actually the Seatrium, right? Seatrium. Number 2, OCBC. Number 3, Lion OCBC, HSTECH. That was an ETF. I covered YZJ Financial Holding, and then number 5, SGX. Number 6, Mermaid. Number 7, Centurion. All right, and we have also the next one that would be UOB, iFast, Top Glove, SIA, RH Petrol Gas, Samudera Shipping, number 13, number 14, Venture, number 15, UOL, 16 would be UMS, 17 that Bervyn did was PropNex, number 18 that Zee just covered, Keppel, right? Keppel. So we have covered like a total of 18 stocks today, all right? 18 stocks today. So I hope all of you have got value. You have, kind of like a better understanding on how your stocks are doing. As I say, guys, I know there's like more than 50, 60 over stocks in the chat. We do our best to cover all of them. Hopefully you can join us the next week one for the Singapore market again, and that's where we try to cover again. So our apologies if we cannot cover all the stocks that you guys type in the chat. And as I say, right, guys, very simple, right? All these stocks that we covered, you have seen the way we analyze. Of course, we do it in a very structured sequential specific way. All right, if you want to find out how we do it, kind of like the step-by-step framework, attend one of those free webinars, right? We just placed the link in the chat one last time. All right, and that's where, as I say, we'll kind of like deep dive into the entire one good trend strategy. All right, and how actually just by pulling out this indicator that all of us did for all your stocks, right? It gives us an opinion in seconds whether is it a buy or a sell signal. I mean, if it's a bearish one, a red one, then you want to be careful, all right? Especially if the trend is down, right? So find out more, attend a free webinar. I think that's where you get much more value in terms of understanding the whole entire methodology behind the strategy. All right, so that's the code as well. You can scan the QR code. You can scan the QR code if you're on your computer. Use your phone to scan this QR code. It's pretty much the same link that we have just placed in the chat. All right, okay, very good. So let's move on. Let's move on right now, guys, to the bonus stock. As I mentioned right in the beginning, right, we have covered we've covered 18 stocks that you guys are asking about, and at the end, one bonus SG stock times 3, right, at the end. So I will share with you guys my bonus stock right now, and this stock will be none other than this company called Hong Leong Asia. In fact, I think some of you have asked for it as well, right? But that was what I wanted to share, so I thought just leave it to the end. I think like Sichuan, right? Hong Leong Asia trend up today, considering to buy. Awesome, right? That's actually what I want to cover today. So I hope that helps you as well. All right. So let's talk about this stock called Hong Leong Asia. And as I say, right, this stock has been in my watch list a couple of months back. In fact, I think we have sent out to our VIP clients in Phillip Securities, all right, a note on WhatsApp as well. I think maybe 1 or 2 months back before it started to move up. So those of you who got the message, check it out. You can just go and search for it and find it. All right. As I say, if you're not yet a client of me, you're not getting the WhatsApp. All right. You're not getting anything from your broker. Nobody sent you anything or what. It's just a platform. You just log in online and nobody really bother about you. All right. Check it out. Right. The link in the chat again. Find out how you can get some of those top ideas in the Singapore market for free at no additional cost. And that's where you could find it faster. I mean, than when we do this live call. By then, the price might have gone up a bit already lah. All right, Ken. So this is Hong Leong Asia. So you can see that for Hong Leong Asia, since like July, August last year, we actually got a bullish signal coming out. Another one, it went up faster. All right, 2 more bullish signals, it starts going up. So just from the recent bullish signal in August all the way up to the first bearish signal, 37.2% in about 4 months. All right, 4 months. So when we get a bearish signal, well, nothing wrong. Take some profit, get out. Don't want to be greedy. I mean, 37% is pretty okay, right? Take some profit, get out, right? Wait for a new bullish signal to come back in, right? Did it happen immediately? No. Did it happen 1 week later? No. Well, it happened like maybe 3 weeks later or maybe 1 month later, right? So right over here, finally, we got a bullish signal coming out. So the longer term trend, and we talk about the longer term trend many times, right? The red and the blue line. So the longer term trend, you can see it has been up since last year. I mean, it's pretty easy to see, right? Red above the blue. Right now, the longer term trend is still up. But the short term trend, if you ask me, in November when we had the bearish signal, right? It was actually down, right? So a bearish signal plus the short term trend also down, then why do you want to get in, right? You want to wait, right? Be patient. Wait for the bullish signal to come out. Wait for the green line to obviously turn back up. Did it happen? Yes, it did, right? The green line turned back up. The bullish signal got another confirmation. And that's exactly what happened, right? So to see that move, we got 2 bullish signals. And right now, we are kind of making our way back up to about 22% in this about 2 months, 2 more months. So why do I like this stock? Well, I know it has gone up a bit higher. As I say, if you have received the WhatsApp from me earlier, 1 or 2 months back, great. If you are in profits, right, great. What do you want to do now? So very simple. Why did it come to my watch? Is because over the past 1 to 2, 3 weeks, right? As I say, in December, we got a bullish signal. It starts pushing up. But if you ask me, that was in December, right? We started to move up from like 85, 86, 88, 90 cents, 97, until about $1. But when we hit the $1, that is a psychological resistance level, all right? It's normal to see a bit of profit taking near $1. It's not so easy. You just cross $1 and become 105 or 110, right? It's a psychological level. It's fine, right? It's fine. We might see a bit of selling. You want to take some profit there. No problem. No worries. Go and take some profit, right? And we were actually consolidating below this $1, right? So let me just go to draw this $1 as a key psychological resistance level. And also, we can also draw maybe another support level right over here. That was where we rebounded. You can see it went down, we rebounded. So we have a horizontal support and a horizontal resistance level. All right. But why, did this stock, came to my watch, because I have set some alerts at 101, 102, and I got alerted today as well, because you can see right now, this is like what, now it's lunchtime, it's 12:21 p.m., right? So it's lunchtime, but you can see as of lunchtime, the price is $1.02. $1.02. Is it above $1? Yes, it's above, it's above $1. I don't know what happens after lunch, all right, what happens at the end of the day, but as of now, it's above $1. Does it make sense? It's 101. Oh, sorry, it's 102, right? So that's a good sign. At least we are attempting to break the $1, all right? And there is some signs of us getting out of this 3 weeks to a month consolidation, right? So we are seeing some signs of strength. Of course, this bullish signal seems to be still playing out. So if by end of today, right, or maybe next week, or Monday or Tuesday next week, right, we can stay above $1. We go to 102, 103, 104, 105, whatever, right? Great, right? That is where this would be a new support level, all right? No longer the support level will be here already, right? The support level would have gone from here to here, right? And now we want to stay above $1, right? With it becoming a new support level. And that's where potentially we may see targets being raised, right? Targets being raised maybe all the way maybe to the $1.10 level. So $1 to 1.10, I think that could become like the potential upside targets, right? If we can stay above the $1. All right, as I say, now it's 102, it's lunchtime. If you can, do it by end of today, or maybe up to next Monday or Tuesday or next week, that will be another confirmation. But I think so far looks good, right? We are attempting to push above the $1. And what we could do right now is that, I could just turn on very quickly the 1 GT Pro indicator, and I can just turn on what we call the trailing support level. That's pretty much, the same indicator that we have been turning on. So, let me turn it on. Let's take a look, right? So you can see that, okay, let me just go ahead to remove all the drawings so it's a bit clearer. So you can see that this bullish signal first came out in December, right? A trailing support pops up. It follows, and it follows, Hong Leong Asia as it moves higher, right? So you can see right now this is starting to follow it even higher, because today we are going up, right? So it looks pretty okay, right? We are above the trailing support. The green 20 days moving average line obviously still pointing up. Red and blue still up above trailing support. We broke the $1 resistance. Well, I think we have at least 4 or 5 confirmations that we are looking even more bullish. Of course, there are a little bit more confirmations they want to look out for, like the candlestick and the volume. These are a little more advanced stuff. As I say, we don't have time to cover everything today. Attend one of those free webinars whereby we break it down for you even more into more confirmations we want to get. But I think so far so good. It looks pretty okay already, right? Just by looking at the confirmations that we get, right? As long as we stay above $1, I think this stock is in for a ride. All right, so that is pretty much the first bonus stock I'll share with you guys, called Hong Leong Asia. All right, and how many of you felt that was pretty interesting as well? Just type I for interesting, guys. Type I for interesting. If you have watched this stock, you found it pretty interesting the way I analyze, and then you got some value as well. Just type I. Kasi, thank you for covering Hong Leong Asia. Also, I think that was what you asked, right? So great, and that was one of the bonus stock as well. All right, so very good. All right, thank you so much that you guys have got some value as well. Interesting. Hyung, interesting. Kasi as well. Palvesh, interesting. So very good. Can put this stock in your watch list. Jimmy as well. Thank you so much. All right. So let me go ahead to pass on the mic to Bervyn, right? To Bervyn to share with you guys, right? The stock that you guys want to put in your watch list. So it's different from mine, all right? As I say, Bervyn and Zee, they're all professionals. They're all experts in their own field in terms of technical analysis. All of them are well versed in the one good trend strategy, the 1 GT Pro indicator, but they have a little bit of their take on it as well. So I'll leave it to them to share their bonus stock with you guys. Bervyn, take it away.
Thanks, Joey. Okay, so for my bonus stock today, it will be this Singtel. The stock code is Z74. I'm pretty sure everybody here have heard of Singtel before, but why has it come into my watch list? So here we go. So if we see in Singtel, I think in the entirety of 2023 up to the middle of 2024, it was pretty boring. Prices were just consolidating, moving up and down, not much movement, and only when prices had actually broke above the previous resistance of this $2.60, that's when we actually see a very, very good up move up to towards this let me just delete this, up to about this 340 level in the most recent days. Why is this 340 level a key level for me right now? It is because prices have actually tested this level once before it came down, went up slightly a bit, and then it came back down again towards this psychological $3 level previously. So as prices, in the more recent days have already started to head up, we still see that the 100 days moving average is a little flat, with the 200 days moving average pointing up at this point. So prices could consolidate under this 340 level before breaking above, and then that's where we could actually see more strength coming in for this counter, or the momentum actually continuing for this counter as well. So in the nearer term, I'm actually placing my support, my temporary support, around this $3.30 level, very close to where previously prices have actually came close to, tested a few times, and right now we are still testing this $3.30 level. So this could form a base for bargain hunters to come in to push prices up higher, so that is where I would actually watch out for this counter, especially if this 330 level continues to hold. So if I were to just clear up my drawings really quickly and then turn on the trailing support and resistance lines, so that is where you can actually see that the trailing support is right around the 320 level right now as well. So if we were to actually get in, or to watch out where to get in for this counter, that would actually be another consideration that we could have as well. So if the $3.40 level were to give way, where would the next potential upside be? I would say the next potential upside would be around to this 360 level first, where a new resistance could form, or a new level where sellers will actually want to come in to take some profit would also be possible as well. So I think Singtel looks good for me at this point, with the longer term trends still in favor as well, just seeing a little bit of consolidation, and potentially if this 340 level gives way, another 1 GT bullish signal could come in, so we could actually see more upside for Singtel as well. So that is my bonus stock for this week. Z, can you bring us through your bonus stock?
All right, thank you, Bervyn. Okay, so let me just change my screen. Okay, so the bonus stock that I want to share with you guys today, I guess, for those of you who have joined us for the past couple of Ask Me Any Stock Singapore session, right? Perhaps you might have already guessed it, and it is still SG Engineering. So this is actually a stock that has been in my watch list for quite some time, and I mean the stock is still good lah. So if it's a good stock, definitely you want to keep in your watch list, right? You won't want to remove a good stock from your watch list. So I would still remain ST Engineering in my watch list, and I still like it a lot, right? Because you can see that the trend, like what I've said many times before, the trend looks really good and it looks really beautiful, right? You can see that the moving averages are all heading up in the same direction. Over the past years in 2024, we have seen multiples 1 GT bullish signal coming up. Then along the way, if let's say you are actually holding on to this stock and you see some 1 GT bearish signal, it means that there's more selling pressure coming back. You take some profit, then it is also fine, right? And then your balance position, maybe 1 quarter, half, or whatsoever, you can continue to ride the uptrend, right? So this stock, right, we actually covered in our bonus stock, I think a couple of weeks back, and the first time I covered it, I think, was in January, one of our January session, right? January session, and prices have continued to head up higher, towards this resistance that actually I've drawn, because this drawings, right, actually were all left from the previous session that we have analyzed, right? So this 480, like I've mentioned previously, right, is actually a resistance level. It's one of the key resistance level, which has actually turned into a support. It was a resistance because price actually neared it a couple of times, right? But sellers came back in, pushed price back down, some profit taking happening, and then it did not break above it, right? It consolidated over here since September all the way to about January. That's where a price breakout above this 480 and price continue to actually head higher, right? And you see this green color rectangle box that I've drawn over here, right? This was actually previously what we've mentioned, when prices break above, the resistance become a support, and we want to buy near a support zone, especially when the trend is still up, right? So this was actually a potential entry zone. So if some of you who have already gotten in here, right, I mean, you have already been sitting on some profits. So congrats to that. Probably about, close to 6 or 5% on that already. But then the question is, so where should you take some profit? Where should you exit, right? So now the uptrend is still looking good, right? The resistance that we have drawn is somewhere about 520, and this is based off a projection that we have did previously, because you see right over here, right, prices have been consolidating, and this was actually the range that the price have been consolidating at, right? So we actually did a simple projection up, and it will be about 520. And right now, price is somewhere at about, $5.07. The last, on the couple of days back, on 19th of Feb, the highest that you have reached was about 513, right? It's close to 520, close to the resistance level. So when you're thinking about selling, thinking about getting out, right, you want to get out near the resistance level. So it is this 520 is not a exact location or exact point or price that you should sell, right? It's always a zone. It's always a zone that you can potentially sell your price, sell your stock at. So maybe it could be about 515 to about 520, that level. That would be fine as well. But you don't necessarily have to take full profits, right? Your entire position. You can still take maybe 1/4, 1/3, half of your position, and then the balance you can continue to ride the uptrend, because as of now we have a 1 GT bullish signal right over here on this day, which is on the 23rd of Jan, right? 23rd of Jan. And as of now, there is still no bearish signal as of yet, right? So that is for those who are actually holding on to some position. Maybe you want to consider to actually take some partial profits, one-third profits near the resistance level. But then maybe some of you might be thinking, hey, then where can I actually enter now, right? So for uptrend, ideally, we want the uptrend to be sustainable. We want to see some consolidation happening. So for me, of course, ideally, because price have already gone up, right? Ideally, I want to see maybe some consolidation could be happening here before it breaks of the 520, or it could be also breaking the 520 and consolidate before pushing even higher, right? So because we want the trend to be sustainable, we don't want the price to go all the way up like that. It'll be very, very scary, right? You don't know where the support is, you don't know where the buyers are coming back in, and it could anytime crash back down like that. So we want uptrend to be sustainable. So ideally, those of you who are actually looking to enter, maybe, you don't have to rush in first. You might want to consider, to monitor this 520, right? And to take a look at this stock, whether is there any consolidation happening. If there's a consolidation, monitor it a bit closely. If it breaks above this 520, can it hold above this 520 or not? If it holds above this 520, this 520 will become what we call a support level, right? A new higher support level. Now it's a resistance. It will become a support level, and we want to buy near a support level, especially when the trend is still up. So I would say ST Engineering is definitely still in my watch list as of now. I have no intention of taking it out yet. It's still looking really good. Yeah, and of course, the earnings is actually coming out next week. Not too sure what the earning result will be like. It could actually affect the stock in either way. Maybe it can break above 520, or it can come back down to maybe near this 480 level. I don't know, right? But that is where you can also potentially position yourself for entry as well. Okay, so that would be for ST Engineering. I hope that helps. I will pass the time back to Joey to actually maybe wrap up for today's session.
All right, thank you so much. All right, so guys, that's it. We have pretty much come to the end. It's almost like, it's gone on for like 2 hours, 10:30 to 12:30. All right, I hope all of you have got value. All right, how many of you got value in what 3 of us have shared? Just type V for value, guys. If you've got the value from what we have shared so far, especially if we have covered your stock, all right, let me know. Let us know. All right, just type V for value. All right, and hopefully we can see you guys again for the Singapore market. So next week, right? Next week will be the US market, right? Next week will be US market. So Singapore today, next Friday, US. So maybe team just put the link in the chat as well. Thank you so much, Palesh. All right, awesome. Thanks for your time to be here as well. Value, Yao Sim, Johnson, Kasifung, thank you, Athena. I think I've covered your stock, right, Athena? Carol, hi. All right, so that is the link, guys, to join us in the next live session next Friday. Ask Me Any Stock session. The link is right pretty much in the chat. Right over here, I've just placed the link in the chat. Next Friday will be the US market, right? The US market. So very simple. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, all right, my YouTube channel, even on my Facebook, hit the subscribe, hit the follow button as well, so that when we go live, you will be notified as well. Thank you so much, Janet, all right, value, Linda, value. Thanks, Sun Moon, to the team. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. So yes, I think that's it, guys. We've pretty much come to the end of today's AMAS live show. We hope you got value. And thank you so much for joining us over here. We look forward to see you in the next week. Next Friday will be US market. All right. And as I say, if you want to find out a bit more on what me and Z and Bervyn have shared regarding like the strategy, how do we do it step by step and analyze any single stock in less than 10 seconds. All right. Join us in a free webinar. The link in the chat one last time. All right. And that is where we could share with you a bit more and perhaps how you could have an indicator, all right, like that, just to help you to know when to get in and also when to get out, like what you see over here, right? So this is pretty much where, to kind of like give you an idea on what to do, whether to, when you see a bearish signal to get out, when you see a bullish signal to get back in, check out the webinar. Hopefully you can have access to this 1GT, the One Good Trend Pro indicator, like all of us have in the team, all right? And I think it will definitely benefit you as well, all right? If you want to get some of those ideas, Singapore ideas for free. If you're not yet a client of mine in Philip Securities, you don't get any ideas from your broker. No one do anything, all right, or send you any ideas or video or training or WhatsApp. It's like a hotline. Check it out. Become a VIP client of mine in Philip Securities for free and no additional cost. I'm sure you will be, you'll get definitely much more value-added services. All right, so Joey here. Thank you so much. Signing off. Bye, everyone. Take care. Bervyn, you can say bye as well.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye, everyone. Thank
care.
you.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
See you. Bye-bye. See you guys next week. Have a good weekend. Take care. Bye.